So let's talk about the different types of trauma that there are. I want you to kind of go through this list with me and check all that apply to you. The first type of trauma is physical trauma. That's any kind of illness or post-traumatic stress disorder, surgeries and burns. Anytime you go through any kind of bodily injury, that's a trauma to your body. And that trauma can be short-lived or it can be long-lasting. The next type of trauma is a fear-based trauma. And that's like accidents or violence, any kind of terminal diagnosis that you might get, or being exposed to fearful images. We have a client who had been who'd been in New York during 9/11 and had been exposed to so many things, and that is a huge example of fear-based trauma. Being bullied, also natural disasters, or even being cursed in the womb. You know, studies show that when you talk to your baby in the womb and you encourage the baby and you speak life and love over it, that the baby actually thrives in life. And if that's true, then the opposite is true as well. You can create your baby to have a lot of fear of coming out because they don't understand what you're saying, but they can sense the atmosphere of what's in the world. And so when you have fear, your baby has fear. The next way is through loss, which could be death, divorce, separation. It could be separation from a job, or it could just be frequent losses over time or frequent relocations. The next way is to being violated, whether that's through molestation, rape, physical abuse, or even robbery. Then there's betrayal. And betrayal are just the lies that are told about us, those broken confidences, that someone we trust abuses us, and others fail to stop it. That's very traumatic. Rejection is another form of trauma, and that includes abandonment and being shunned or ignored. If you grew up in a home where you received the silent treatment, that's actually a form of rejection. Also, prejudices and injustices. You could even be rejected in the womb. Maybe you're a girl and mom and dad hope for a boy. Maybe you're a boy and they hope for a girl. Or maybe you just weren't really wanted and you somehow always just knew that. Neglect. Neglect is a passive form of abuse. Neglect is not just not being fed or clothed, but it's also being neglected from comfort and nurture. Neglect is abuse. We need all of those things. Those aren't wants, those are needs. Then there's a secondary trauma, which is experiencing another's trauma as if it's your own.